class, I have discussed the first 9 questions in the assignment in kinematics. Total, I have shown 24 questions in the last but one class on the screen. I told you to try those questions yourself first. So out of which the first 9 questions I have discussed in the previous class. I am continuing the discussion of the remaining questions starting from question number 10. Look at the question number 10 again on the screen, which I already shown to you in the past. Two particles A and B, distance 16 meters apart, move towards each other. A moves with constant velocity of 5 meters per second, and B with constant acceleration of 3 meters per second square starting from rest. Find when and where they meet. The two particles are initially separated by a distance of 16 meters. So the first particle starts from the point A and moves towards the second particle with constant velocity. V equal to 5 meters per second. Second particle starts from the point B and moves toward the first particle with constant acceleration of 3 meters per second square starting from rest. Let the two particles meet at the point P after time t. That means the first particle covers the distance s1 and second particle covers distance s2 in the same time t. So at the instant when the two particles meet each other, you can write s1 plus s2 equals 16 meters. The first particle is moving with constant velocity v without acceleration, so you can write distance s1 covered with the first particle v into t. Second particle moves with constant acceleration of a equals 3 meters per second square starting from rest. So distance moved by second particle is given by s equal to half at square. That means you can write s2 equal to half at square. That is equal to 60 meters. V is given as 5 meters per second. The acceleration A is given as 3 meters per second square. You can multiply this equation with 2. So you can solve this quadratic equation for time t. So you can solve this equation for time t, and you have to consider only the positive root of the equation. So the time t cannot be negative. If you consider the positive root of the equation, the two particles meet each other after 2 seconds. To find distance from the initial position at which the two particles moves, can find s1 can be as v into t. That means the two particles meet each other after 2 seconds at a distance of 10 meters from the initial position of the first particle. If you want to copy the solution of the problem, you can take a pause and copy the solution of this problem. See the next question, question number 11. Two particles start moving in a straight line simultaneously from same point. The first particle moves with a constant velocity u. And the second starts from rest and moves with constant acceleration f. Then second particle overtakes the first. The distance moved by it is. Let us suppose each particle starts from the point O, and second particle overtakes the first particle at the point P after time t. That means first particle moves from O to P in time t, and second particle also travel same distance s in the same time t. So therefore, for first particle you can write s equal to u into t. For second particle you can write s equal to half ft square. The particle starts from rest and moves with constant acceleration. Then you can write displacement S is equal to half AT square. Here A equal to F for second particle. That is actually it is 0 for the first particle. So when they meet each other at the point P, you can write U into T equal to half Ft square. From this you get T equal to 2U by F. So you can substitute this value of time T in the first equation. T equal to UU by F. That means when second particle overtakes the first particle, the distance moved by each particle will be 2U square by F. That will be the answer. So if you want to copy the solution of this problem, you can take a pause and copy the solution of this problem. A police party in a jeep. See the question number 12. Police party in a jeep is chasing a dacoit on a straight road. The jeep is moving at a maximum uniform speed V. The dacoit rides on a motorcycle of his waiting friend. When the jeep is at a distance 16 meters from him, the motorcycle starts with constant acceleration of 2 meters per second square. The dacoit will be caught if I have shown you 4 options in my earlier class. You have to find the condition for the value of V. For what value of V the dacoit will be caught. Let us suppose A is the position of the jeep. Police in the jeep here, and B is the position of the dacoit when he starts the motorcycle. Let us suppose the dacoit is caught at the position P after time T. That means the police travel from A to P in time T, and dacoit travels from B to P in time T. The distance between the initial positions of the jeep and the dacoit are denoted by D. That is 16 meters. That means S1 is the distance moved by the police in the jeep, and S2 is the distance moved by the dacoit in the motorcycle before the dacoit is caught by the police at the point P. So the dacoit is caught by the police at the point P when S1 is equal to S2 plus D. Because the jeep is moving with uniform speed, can write S1 equal to V into T. The dacoit in the motorcycle is moving with a constant acceleration A, starting from rest. So distance moved by the dacoit in time T can write half AT square. So you can write this in the form of a quadratic equation. Multiplying with the 2V t equal to AT square plus 2D. So you can write AT square plus minus 2V into T plus 2D. That is 0. So the dacoit will be caught by the police if the solution of this equation is real. That means time T must be real. So the time T is real. The discriminant of the quadratic equation is greater than or equal to 0. As you were studying in the lower classes, the standard form of the quadratic equation ax square plus bx plus c equal to 0. The solution of the quadratic equation will be real if the discriminant is greater than or equal to 0. That means b square minus 4ac must be greater than or equal to 0, or b square is greater than or equal to 4ac. Here I am talking about the quadratic equation. ax square plus bx plus c equal to 0. The solution of the quadratic equation ax square plus bx plus c equal to 0 will be real. The discriminant is greater than or equal to 0. That means b square is minus 4ac greater than or equal to 0, or b square should be greater than or equal to 4ac. Here in place of b you have minus 2v, so b square will be 4v square. That is greater than or equal to, place of constant c you have 2d. So v square should be greater than or equal to 2ad. So the dacoit will be caught by the police if v is greater than or equal to root of 2ad. In the problem you are given that a equal to 2 meter per second square and initial distance d between the dacoit and police is 16 meters. So you can take d equal to 16 meters, a equal to 2 meter per second square. Can simplify this. So v should be greater than or equal to 8 meter per second. So that will be the answer. So the dacoit will be caught by the police if v is greater than or equal to 8 meter per second. So if you want to copy the solution of the problem, you can take a pause and copy the solution of this problem. See the question number 13. A bus starts moving with acceleration of 2 meter per second square. A cyclist 96 meters behind the bus starts simultaneously toward the bus at 20 meter per second. What time will he be able to overtake the bus? So let us suppose A is the initial position of the cyclist and let B be the initial position of the bus. Initially the cyclist is at a distance of 96 meters behind the bus. Let us suppose the cyclist will be able to overtake the bus at the position P after time T. That means cyclist travels a distance S1 from A to P and the bus travels a distance S2 from B to P before the cyclist overtakes the bus. So cyclist will be able to overtake the bus when the distance S1 moved by the cyclist is equal more than the distance moved by the bus by 96 meters. That means S1 is equal to S2 plus 96 meters. So here the cyclist is moving with uniform velocity. Therefore, distance moved by cyclist can write V into T. Here V is 20 meter per second. The bus starts moving with constant acceleration. A equal to 2 meter per second square. So you can use the formula S equal to half AT square for distance S2. A is equal to 2 meter per second square. So you have to solve this equation. So you have to solve this equation. You get 0 equal to t square minus 20t plus 96. So you have to solve this quadratic equation. You can observe that you get two values for time t. So you get two values of time t. One value is 8 seconds, other value is 12 seconds. That means the cyclist will be overtake the bus for the first time at t equal 8 seconds. We got the second value t equal 12 seconds. That means at t equal 12 seconds, the bus speeds and then overtakes the cyclist. But you are asked to find the time after which cyclist overtakes the bus. So answer is 8 seconds. You want to copy the solution of this problem? Take a pause and copy the solution of this problem. Look at the question number 14. Particle starts from rest, acceleration 2 meter per second square for 10 seconds, and then goes for constant speed for 30 seconds. And then retards at 4 meter per second square till it stops. The distance traveled by it is. Let us suppose the particle starts from the point A. The particle starts from rest from the point A and moves with constant acceleration of 2 meter per second square from A to B. Let us suppose the particle acquires a velocity v at the point B after first 10 seconds. That means in the first 10 seconds, it starts from rest at the point A and moves from A to B with uniform acceleration of 2 meter per second square. So from B to C, it moves with constant speed for a time interval of 30 seconds. Let us suppose it moves from C to D with uniform retardation of 4 meter per second square until it comes to rest. That means the velocity becomes at 0 at D. You have to find total distance traveled. The total distance traveled is sum of the three distances S1, S2, S3. Here S1 is the distance traveled in the first 10 seconds with uniform acceleration of 2 meter per second square. S2 is the distance covered next 30 seconds with constant speed v. And S3 is the distance covered during the retarded motion before it comes to rest. So velocity gained after first 10 seconds, that is, if you consider the motion from A to B, you can use the formula V equal to U plus AT. The initial velocity A is 0. The acceleration 2 meter per second square. Time interval is 10 seconds. So it acquires a velocity of 20 meter per second square at the point B. So distance traveled in the first 10 seconds can be found by using the equation S equal to UT plus half AT square, but initial velocity U is 0 here. So distance traveled in the first 10 seconds can be found by using the equation S equal to half AT square. A equal to 2 meter per second square. T equal to 10 seconds. So distance traveled the first 10 seconds will be 100 meters. So for motion from B to C, it moves with uniform speed of v equal to 20 meter per second for 30 seconds. So distance traveled from B to C can write v into t. Time of motion from B to C. Otherwise, you can denote the time of motion from A to B by t1 and time of motion from B to C by t2. So 20 into 30 meters or 600 meters. So next, if you consider the retarded motion from C to D, Can use the formula v square minus square equal to as for motion from C to D, because you have to find the distance S3 travel during the retarded motion. So final loss state D is 0. Initial loss state C. Initial loss state C equal to 20 meter per second, because from B to C it has moved with uniform speed of 20 meter per second. For motion from C to D, it moves with uniform. It has a retardation of 4 meter per second square, so acceleration can be taken as minus 4 meter per second square. S equal to S3. So you can find that from that distance S3 here, you get S3 equal to 50 meters. Simplify this yourself. So total distance traveled by the body can be found by adding S1, S2, S3. That is 100 plus 600 plus 50. You can add these three. It comes out to be 750 meters. That's the answer. If you want to copy the solution of this problem, you can take a pause and copy the solution of this problem. See the question number 15. Speeds of two identical cars are u and 4u at a specific instant. The ratios respective distances in which the two cars are stopped from that instant is. So both the cars are identical cars. So if you assume that the two cars are moving on identical paths, in that case we can assume that the retardation produced when brakes are applied is same for both the cars. That is, acceleration is same. So if you use the formula v square minus v square equal to as, the body is stopped with retardation. The final velocity v can be taken as 0. Let us denote the retardation by beta. So the acceleration can be written as minus beta. So distance traveled before coming to rest with uniform retardation will be equal to u square by 2 beta. Here beta is the retardation. Both the cars are identical, therefore you may assume that the retardation produced in each car is the same. Therefore distance traveled by the first car before it comes to rest equal to u1 square by 2 beta. Distance traveled by second car before it comes to rest during the retarded motion is equal to u2 square by 2 beta. Here u1 and u2 denote the initial speeds of the two cars. Beta is the retardation which is same for both the cars. Here u1 is given to be u, u2 is given to be 4u. So here if you want to copy the solution of this problem, you can take a pause and copy the solution of this problem. In the solution, you have to observe that we have assumed that retardation to be same for both the cars, because it is given in the problem that both the cars are identical cars. See the question number 16. A body moving with uniform acceleration has a displacement of 16 meters in the first 4 seconds, 9 meters in the first 3 seconds. So let u be the initial velocity and let a be the acceleration. You can use the formula s equal to ut plus half at square for the two intervals separately. For first 4 seconds, you can take s equal to 16 meters, t equal to 4 seconds, and for it travels 9 meters in the first 3 seconds. So for first 3 seconds, Can take s equal to, again use the same equation, s equal to 9 meters. Initial velocity is u, t equal to 3 seconds. So you can solve this problem. You can solve the two equations to get the answer. So you can solve these two equations to find the values of u and a. You can solve the two equations, two simultaneous linear equations to find the values of u and a and complete the problem yourself. If you want to copy the working, you can take a pause and copy the working. See the question number 17. The initial speed of a body moving with uniform acceleration is u. The speed is doubled while covering a distance f. When it covers an additional distance to s, its speed would become. Let us suppose the body starts from the point A with initial speed u. Let us suppose the body travels from A to B in covering the distance f. That means speed at B will be double the speed at A. That means speed at B will be 2u. Let us suppose the body travels from B to C when it covers an additional distance to S. You have to find the velocity at C. The problem is given in terms of velocities and distances. So you can solve the problem by using the equation v square of s square equal to 2as, or we use this equation v square of s square 2as, or for motion from A to B, vf square minus vi square equal to as. Here vf means final velocity at B, vi means initial velocity at A, this s is the displacement. Here final velocity at B is 2u here, initial velocity at A is u, displacement equal to s. Next you can use the same equation for motion from A to C or B to C. You can consider any one of this. For motion from A to C, A is initial position, initial velocity at A is u, final velocity at C you have to find. Let us denote the final velocity at C by V subscript C. The distance covered from A to B is S, from B to C is 2S. So total distance covered from A to C will be S plus 2S, that will be 3S. So you can divide the equation 2 with equation 1. So Vc square minus u square y. On the left hand side here in the equation 1, if you simplify, you get 3u square equal to 2a into 3s by 2as. Can simplify it yourself. If you want to copy the solution of the problem, you can take a pause and copy the solution of this problem. And if you simplify this, you get Vc equal to u into root 10. That's the answer. See the next question, question number 18. This question was given one of the previous entrance examinations in the All India Institute of Medical Sciences. Two spheres of same size, one of mass 2 kg and another of mass 4 kg are dropped simultaneously from the top of a Qutub Minar. Height 72 meters. When they are 1 meter above the ground, the two spheres have these same four options are given. Within bracket, neglect air resistance. One option, momentum, kinetic energy, potential energy, acceleration. Here, when the air resistance is neglected, all the bodies at a given place fall toward the earth with the same acceleration. So here, both the bodies are dropped from same height of 72 meters. So when there is no aerations, the acceleration of each body is same as acceleration due to gravity. So acceleration of each body can be assumed to be uniform, and acceleration is same for both the bodies at any instant. So when they are at a height of 1 meter above the ground, they will have same acceleration and also same velocity. But they will not have same momentum because masses are different. Even kinetic energy will not be the same because masses are different. So fourth option is the answer. Then look at the next question. See the question number 19. Stone is dropped freely while another is thrown vertically downwards with an initial velocity of 2 meters per second from same point simultaneously. The time required by them to have a distance of separation 22 meters between them is. So both the stones start from same point O. The one is dropped from the point O, whereas second is, that means first one falls freely under gravity with zero initial velocity. Second one is thrown downward with some initial velocity of 2 meters per second. Therefore, in a given time t, the second one will travel more distance compared to the first one. Let us suppose the first one travels from O to A in a time interval t, and second one travels from O to B in the same time interval. You have to find the time after which distance between the two stones becomes 22 meters. That means distance between A and B becomes 22 meters after some interval of time t, which you have to find. Because the first, that means you can observe from the figure that S2 equal to S1 plus 22 meters. That means you have to find the time after which when the distance traveled by the second stone exceeds the distance traveled by the first stone by 22 meters. So first stone is falling freely under gravity, therefore S1 can be written as half gt square. The second stone starts moving downwards with initial velocity u. Therefore distance traveled by the second stone in the same time t can write as ut plus half gt square. And each stone has same acceleration equal to the acceleration due to gravity. And for all the quantities, I mean initial velocity, acceleration, displacement, are in the same direction for second stone, therefore I can give positive sign for all the quantities. So that means you have to find the time after which when the relative displacement becomes 22 meters, half gt square gets cancelled. U is given to be 2 meters per second. So distance between the two stones becomes 22 meters after 11 seconds. So if you want to copy the solution of this problem, you can take a pause and copy the solution of this problem. This problem was given in one of the previous entrance examinations in the MSET in medical entrance. See the next question, question number 20. Body is freely falling. The displacement in the last second is equal to the displacement in the first 3 seconds. The time of fall is. So for a freely falling body, the displacement covered in the nth second is numerically equal to g by 2 into 2n minus 1. And displacement covered in a time interval of t seconds is given by equal half gt square. Let us suppose the total time of free fall. Let us suppose the total time of free fall equal to capital T seconds. Then tth second will be the last second. For example, if the total time of free fall is 10 seconds in another problem, then total time of free fall, suppose if it is 10 seconds, then 10th second will be last second. So similarly, if total time of free fall is capital T second, then Tth second is last second. So to find the distance covered in the Tth second, you have to put n equal to T here. It's given the distance covered the last second or Tth second is equal to the distance covered in the first 3 seconds. Distance covered Tth second can be found by putting n equal to T in this equation. So distance covered Tth second is numerically equal to G by 2 into 2T minus 1. Distance covered in the first 3 seconds can be found by substituting T equal to 3 seconds in this equation. S equal to half GT square. Can solve this. So if half G gets cancelled both sides, so 2T minus 1 is numerically equal to 9, 3 square or 9. So you get 2T equal to 9 plus 1 or T equal 10 by 2 or total time of free fall you get 5 seconds. So answer is 5 seconds. So if you want to copy the solution of this problem, you can take a pause and copy the solution of this problem. See the next question number 21. A freely falling body covers 60 meters during last 2 seconds of its fall. G equal to 10 meters per second square. Then the height from which it falls is. Let us suppose the body starts falling freely under gravity, starting from the point O. And let us suppose the body falls from A to B in the last 2 seconds. Let us suppose the body falls from A to B in the last 2 seconds. That means strike the ground at B. It covers 60 meters in the last 2 seconds. So distance from A to B is 60 meters. So to find the height of fall, you can calculate the height from which the body falls if you know the velocity at B. So therefore, we'll try to find velocity at B here. We'll consider the motion from A to B for last 2 seconds. For motion from A to B, acceleration A equal to G for a freely falling body, that is 10 meters per second square. So time of motion is 2 seconds. For motion from A to B, displacement is 60 meters. You have to find final velocity at B. You cannot take velocity at A as 0. Velocity is 0 at the beginning of fall, at the point O. So you have to select the equation kinematics in terms of these 4 letters, A, T, S, V. That means you have to select the equation without the letter U. So you can use the equation S equal to Vt minus half At square. You can find the velocity B. S is equal to 60 meters here. Time of motion from A to B is 2 seconds. The acceleration is equal to 10 meters per second square. T equal to 2 seconds. So you can simplify this. So you get velocity at B as 40 meters per second. To find the height from which it falls, you have to find the distance from O to B. Let H denote the height from which it falls above the ground. That is from O to B. So you consider the motion from O to B. You consider the motion from O to B. Initial velocity at O is 0. Final velocity at B is 40 meters per second. And displacement equal to H. So use the equation here, V square minus U square equal to A say for motion from O to B to find the H here. In this problem, you are not asked to find total time of motion, and you are not given the total time of motion. Therefore, we are choosing the equation without the time t here. So here, final law state B is equal to 40 meter per second. Initial law state O is 0. The acceleration is equal to 10 meter per second square. S equal to h meters. Can simplify this. So you get answer as 80 meters. If you want to copy the solution of this problem, you can take a pause and copy the solution of this problem. So I have discussed the solutions of 21 questions. First 21 questions out of 24 questions. So I have to still discuss 3 more questions that I will be discussing in my next class. So in my next class, I will be discussing the question number 22 to 24. Then after that, I will be also, in the next class, I will also be showing you the remaining questions in assignment in kinematics up to falling bodies. That is starting from question number 25 to question number 40.